and welcome to the first Advent calendar episode of Ekonomernas Dagar 2021. My name is Sanna and I'm the marketing manager, and today we for the first time since Ekonomernas Dagar was established, introduced a new concept of the Advent calendar episode. Each Advent we're going to have a guest from an organization that we believe contributes to a better society, and we do this to bring inspiration to us young economics and business students. During each episode, while we have the interview, we're going to do a Christmas activity. This time we're going to decorate oranges, as you see here. And since all Advent calendar episodes are sponsored by Pågen, the last thing we will do each episode is to taste and rate one of their special Christmas edition buns. And this time it is saffron. But without further ado, a warm welcome to this guest this episode, which is Fayad Asali from Mentor. So welcome and thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So let's start with 3 quick Christmas questions. Are you ready?
Yes.
Alright. So raisins in lussebullar, yes or no?
Big yes.
Hot chocolate or glögg?
Hot chocolate.
All I want for Christmas is you or last Christmas?
Last Christmas.
Alright. Good answers. But okay, so now I'm very interested in hearing more about the organization Mentor, because as I understood, you are the operations manager there.
Yeah, I'm the operational manager since April this year.
Yeah.
And we're a youth organization. We work with basically mentorship in different kinds. And our target group are teenagers between 13 and 17 years.
Okay, nice. And when does this organization start? Like, what's the story behind it?
So Mentor Sweden is a part of the Mentor Foundation, and the foundation started in 1994. I know that Her Majesty Queen Sylvia took the initiative along with the World Health Organization, and after that in 1996 Mentor started in Sweden. With the basic idea that healthy adult relationships helps young people to make right decisions.
Alright, that's very interesting. And you have been there since April this year?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mid-corona.
Mid-corona, yeah, definitely. And like, what made you interested in this organization? Like, how did you hear about it?
So, I have a quite long experience in working with youngsters or teenagers, mainly with long-term unemployed teenagers in both Södertälje and in Botkyrka, and between them I worked at the Red Cross. And somehow when you work with 20 years old young people, seeing that in such a young age, they manage to take, sometimes by themselves or sometimes by how society treats them, reach this kind of level of having a 19-year-old person that's been unemployed for like 1 or 2 years. You start asking yourself, okay, we're helping them, we're like fighting these fires, but the more time that goes, you start asking yourself, how did we, as a society, let them, get here? We should start much sooner, and we should start, working with prevention. And I hadn't really heard about Mentor that much before I, a friend of mine called me and said, I saw this, I know what you've been talking about this prevention and the weight of it and how important it is. I think this is an organization you should look closer to.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. So how do you feel like you're working now with prevention?
I mean, first of all, we start in very early ages. We started at 13 years, and we've now focused on disadvantaged areas in the main cities, and hopefully we can expand in other cities. But this, starting in an early age with quite uncomplicated efforts.
Yeah.
And engaging adults in society to be, help the future of Sweden and of the world, because mentors in different countries. I think, and I hope that that's not only mentor work with prevention, but I mean, the more we work with prevention, the long term outcome of it will be great.
Yeah, definitely. All right, but before we talk more about the different programs that you have at Mentor, we have to get into the Christmas mood with some decorations. So let's get into it. Yeah,
love it.
We have already done these now. So what we're gonna do is to take these carnations here and just stick them into like however we want.
Yeah, I do this every day.
Okay, that's awesome. So yeah, I'm just gonna make like a smiley or something here. But
and I can put them however I want.
Yes, however you want.
Because the ambition is quite.
It's a competition.
It is?
I'm really joking.
Okay.
So tell me about the different programs that you have at Mentor.
So we have 4 main programs. One is called Job Mentor, Work Mentor.
Okay.
It's like I've been watching the Hollywood movies, and I think in the US they have something called Career Day, where parents come to school and talk about what they work with, to just inspire kids about different kind of works.
Yeah.
So we have that one, but it's not attached to parents. Anyone can do it. It's a real small effort. I mean, it's 2 hours maximum, and now we can do it digitally.
Yeah.
And then we have something called Profs Mentor, professional mentorship, and you can say it's a development of Job Mentor, where you more thematically we talk about entrepreneurship. We have a lot of big companies sponsoring us, and in Profs Mentor we have one example is entrepreneurship with SCB. And we have one with KFS, where they talk more about environments and how to have good, food habits and stuff like that. And we're developing a more overall program for Profs Mentor. And then we have the basic or the organization's main program that was the idea of Whole Mentor, and it's the individual mentorship program.
Okay.
Where we match adult role models with young people. So it's an individual program, and it's a 6-month program. So the mentor and the mentee meets and have activities during 6 months. And we're developing that also into not a completely digital form, but now we've been, adapting to the pandemic era. So we've, and I think some of this digitalized forms will continue taking place even after Corona.
Definitely.
And the last program is the parental program. So we have courses and seminars for parents that have teenagers at home about different topics, and one course, and I think it's a four-time course. You go in parenthood, or what you want to call it, and of course we have different projects. So this is the main programs, and sometimes we have camps. Sometimes we do projects with other organizations. But these are like the base of mentor.
Okay. Have you ever been a mentor?
Actually, I've been Job Mentor once, and then I've been a mentor, but not with Mentors Sverige.
Yeah.
The definition of mentor for me is quite interesting, because I'm from what you call the suburbs, and some things you do is not, it's not that formal. That you don't, belong to an organization, but you can, have your cousins or your friends, you know, their sisters or brothers calling you, asking you for help and stuff like that. So it's mentorship without an formalized form.
Unofficial.
Yeah, unofficial form. And I think, there's a lot of people doing it everywhere.
Yes.
But in Sweden, we like to talk about, registrations and the bureaucracy, so you can really say that we have this this amount of mentors in society.
Yeah.
Is this like good now?
That's awesome. I just made one. It looks like this. I just made this side.
No, it's this. And then I did one side with, fusion.
Oh, that's cool.
This is my new thing.
This is your new thing?
Yeah.
We have to have an episode where we only do this. That's awesome. Okay. But, is it easy to become a mentor? Who decides who becomes a mentor?
It couldn't be easier, I think. And then there's different, in the program, in the different programs, you have different ways to be a mentor. Job mentor, you just register on the page and you say, I want to be a job mentor, and then you get different dates, so you can choose what date you want to be a mentor. And now it's digital, so you can do it at home. The profs mentor, the professional mentor, is today it's very connected to the partners we have. So hopefully in this developing thing we're doing with it is to broaden and open up for others to be mentored. But in the mentor program, it's really easy to apply. But then, we work with kids, underage kids. So we have a process, we have to take this paper from, police, they call it polisutdrag. Just to have a good quality. We have this, they have to get their parents' approval. You go to one course on how to be a mentor, how the relationship, how to work with mentoring and stuff like that. But I'm talking about maybe 1 or 2 weeks process. That's in overall maybe 3 or 4 hours. And of course, it's extremely important for the young people to ensure their parents that this is a solid way of working.
Yeah. And what do you feel like? What do those that get this mentorship program, what do you feel like the biggest effect is? How do they get inspired the most?
I think it's connected to the needs, or why the teenager apply for it. Some teenagers just want to network. They want to, they have these ambitions and they don't know how to reach them. And for them, it's a career type of boost to just, how if you would be a mentor for a youngster that wants to be, work with corporations in the future. She or he would think it was great. How did you apply to school? What could you help me with in studying, and how to think and stuff like that. And then we have people with questions about identity, about it could be gender issues, racial issues, and for them to have a mentor that they maybe can associate with, and just talk about these questions. It's self-empowering.
Yeah, that's really good.
And even for me, it's even the mentor gets a lot of it, because I think I lie to myself and say that I'm still young, but when you're in mid-20 and then you get 30, 35, and then you still think that you're young, but then you talk with 16 years old and you're like, oh whoa,
Yeah.
this is a new world.
Yeah.
So you get like attached to the new generation from a new perspective. You understand what kind of question do they raise now. I mean, the questions that are raised now is definitely not the question that we had in connecting to young the young population. It's a generational thing. So it's good for anyone to just have this kind of erfarenhetsutbyte, what do they call it? The knowledge between generations.
Yes, exchanging
it's a great exchange. It's a great exchange, and you meet wonderful people, wonderful young people. You see their problems, but you also see their success. What did this mentorship give them, and what did it give me as mentor? So it's really fabulous.
Do you have like a best memory from
I'm
this?
really concentrating.
I mean, we have one more for you here.
I really like it. The more the merrier.
That's awesome. We have to hang from the tree. Yeah, but like, do you have any like best memory from this job, or?
I think for me, on a personal level, the best experience was when Black Lives Matter. When the demonstrations and stuff like that started in the U.S. We started, we did a campaign, and we asked, based on young people's own experience and what they wanted us to talk about, and just seeing that the organization took this kind of extremely important issues, and talking to young people about not necessarily talking about how we as an organization see it, rather than hearing the young people talking about it. So just to see how acting on real actual issues that fast was for me inspiring.
Yeah,
it means the organization is attached to reality.
Yeah, and having an impact.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, our credibility to the young people is based on we hearing what they want, not just saying what we want.
Yeah, yeah, that's very, very interesting. And like, how do you do if you want to you told me you can just sign up the website if you want to become a mentor.
You should.
Yeah, you should.
You should apply.
Yeah.
It's really easy. You go on the mentor.sc and you have these two programs. You have your mentor, and I am in starting some of those maybe think that the individual mentorship is maybe a bit too much for me now, or it could be it could seem like it's a big thing. And for them, I tell them, start with Job Mentor and see how the reaction is from the kids. I mean, just coming in, I could definitely see that many of them would start in the other program as well.
Yeah.
Because you get so much.
Yeah. And
it's so easy. I mean, it's a really small effort, but the impact is great.
I really think it sounds like a great thing, and especially the impacts that it has.
I'll send you the link.
Yeah, awesome. But you know what it is time for now?
Tell me.
It is time to taste the buns that we have, the Gifflar, which is with the saffron taste, and we have two.
Love Gifflar.
Yeah.
Love it.
We have two skålar here, and we're going to taste it. Okay, and then we're going to rate it from 1 to 5.
But it's saffron, it's 5 already. But okay, we'll try.
Okay, we're going to try it. This is the first time for me trying it, so it's going to be exciting. Okay, let's go.
I haven't eaten lunch, so this is like magic in my mouth.
It's a 4.
No, for me it's a 5. Because the regular ones are definitely 3.5, 4. This is another level of Gifflar.
This is really nice. Alright, so we just have to thank Pågen for sponsoring us today. This taste got a 4 and a 5 from us. But alright, so if you want to learn more about Mentor, we have to make sure to visit their website at mentor.se. And I'm sure you have an Instagram also.
Yes.
At Mentor, which you can follow them there as well. But yeah, with that being said, we have to thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for this nice opportunity. I mean, it's great to be here.
Yeah, awesome. And as always, follow us on Instagram, Ekonomernas Dagar, and on Facebook. And we'll see you next Advent. And until then, we wish you an early Merry Christmas.